Look at all of that gorgeous color. Is that not just a big splash of inspiration right there? Welcome to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm Erin, and I'm going to create a double page scrapbook layout for you today. So I have some photos. That's my good friend Chelsea. Many of you watch her channel as well. And this was our very first time at meeting. We were in Maui, and we decided to get together and go out to dinner with our spouses. That's my husband Mike and her husband Cody. We had a really nice evening. It was gorgeous out. We had a good time chatting. The food was yummy. The resort we were staying at was absolutely beautiful. And look at that tree with the lanterns hanging from it. Really pretty. So I think that this paper with the black background is going to lend itself well to these evening dinner out photos. So let me clear these out of the way. There are so many beautiful pattern papers to choose from that would work great with these photos. So let's bring in some white paper. We may switch that up. I don't really have a plan here. I just wanted to get started with this. So I've got several photos, and I'm kind of thinking of maybe something like this here. Let's see, I was going to put the one of Mike and I. These are kind of before dinner. Or no, these are before dinner, and then these are walking into the restaurant when they were ready for us. So possibly something like this. I might offset these, but I'm thinking these two over here and then a cluster over here. But there's lots of different ways we can configure them. Sometimes I get a general idea for the photos, and then I just start layering my papers around them. So we could also do something like that. But yeah, I think that's a good place to start. And I know I want to bring this paper in because it's gorgeous and it brings in all of these beautiful colors. I love the black background. Really pretty. I also have this gorgeous paper. It's called Woven Textures, and I think I was so excited I didn't even tell you the name of this one. It's the Lovely Garden, and both of these are part of a brand new online exclusive release. So this is gorgeous, and you get 3 of each pattern, and they're double-sided. So you've got these great textures that are really great mix-ins. Kind of like the wood grain paper that I love so much. It's just adding texture. So you have the grays and then kind of they're neutrals. You've got grays, you've got these brown warmer tones, and then this like linen-y color here. And these are going to lend themselves well to all sorts of projects, outdoor projects. I'm going to work them into this layout. I can totally see these on a beach type page. And that would be gorgeous. So you'll probably see that coming up. Masculine layouts, I would see this, or I can see this in like an outdoor hiking type layout with greens and browns and blues. I just think that that would be really cool. This is also very beachy, and that as well, but really cool pattern paper here. I'm excited about these. I did share all of these in an unboxing earlier in the month on my channel, or I should say last month now. But if you look at the chairs here, I'm thinking I really like this one, but I'm debating on which side to use. Not that it has to be exactly matching, but sometimes I get a kick when it works out so well. Do you see the material on the chair? It's like the exact same material as this paper collection here, or this particular pattern paper. So I'm thinking of maybe something like this. These are already matted with white, but I want to bring in more black. So I'm just looking at different layers. I like this one behind the photo. Let me grab a black mat. We'll slide that little guy under there and see how this looks. And yeah, that's going to be good. So I'll make another mat for the rest of the photos. So moving back to our lovely garden, there's so many different colorways in here. But again, I'm kind of wanting to play up this black. We've got greens in here. There's a ton of foliage in the background there. So we could bring in the greens. We've got a couple different options. There's this grid pattern with a different floral on the other side with a white background. So maybe we could do something like that. That's an option. Or if we want to keep with the blacks, I really like that. I think that's going to be fun. I might play up the black and go with that. And then we can bring in more green with our embellishments. I'm going to do some floral clusters with sprigs and maybe some tropical leaves from my collection. Lots of different things we can do. Let me set these aside here. I think I've narrowed it down to these two. I think I'm overwhelming myself. There's so many potential pattern papers that would look beautiful. It's hard to narrow it down. So I maybe think more black around the outside that's visible. There's also the opposite side of this. I really, really love this, but what about this green one here? We've got green on green, a tonal pattern with the leaves. Let's see what this looks like. I think I can rule that one out. I prefer this one behind the photos. I think that looks better to me, so we're going to go with those two. I think I'm going to just go for it. Let's just cut into them and see what happens here. So my floral paper is 8 inches by 11, and then this one, the wicker, is 9 inches tall, but I haven't cut down the width yet. And we'll slide this in at about 5 inches. I am going to scoot this out of the way. I figured I'd work on my embellishments while I'm considering my paper placement. So this is the Thankful Garden stamp set that coordinates along with this paper. So it is a clear stamp, you can see there, and there's coordinating dies. So these cut out the floral shapes, and then you get a couple extra little leaf sprigs, which is fabulous. And then you have layering stencils or masks. So there's 3 that color in the flowers, and then 2 for the layered leaves. And I've already got a bunch of these die cut out because the creative design team recently had, or not die cut, stamped out. The creative design team recently had a birthday card event, and Jama made a gorgeous card with these, so I had a bunch stamped and ready to go. So this is a silicone mat. It just helps provide a little grippy surface. So I'm going to color in just one of each and show you how that's done, and then I'll get the rest done off camera. So you can see they are labeled. This is number 1, and this one's very easy to line up. So we will just rotate it. There we go. That falls into place nicely. And you can tape it down. I'm just going to hold it. I've got some blending brushes here. These are my favorite to use with stencils. And then Melon Mambo and Boho Blue are going to be my florals, inspired by the paper, and then Garden Green for the leaves. So even though these are layering stencils, I'm just using one color, so that's great. If you don't have a whole bunch of different blues to choose from, you can get this layered look just by adjusting your pressure of your hand. So we are starting out with the hydrangea. I'm going to make this one a boho blue, just making sure that's in place there. And then really, really light hand, and then just go over the whole. We're going to color in the background here with our boho blue. You can always come back and add more, so just remember that. And it's better to have a light layer and then be able to darken it than have it be so dark and not be able to do anything about it. I actually have blue hydrangeas in my yard. I've got lots of different colors. They're so pretty, but you could make them any color you want to complement your photos, and they don't even have to be literal. You can make them orange if you want to, although I don't think I've ever seen an orange hydrangea. I do think it would be quite pretty. Let's switch to our second mask here, lining that one up. And now I'm just adding a little bit more ink to my brush, maybe going over it a little bit with a heavy hand. And we're already creating a second layer over the open portions of the stencil, so it's going to be a darker hue. Now, if you have different colors of blue, which I do, you could choose darker colors. But if you don't, I wanted to show you that you can get this look with just one ink pad. So now we are on our third stencil layer here, and I am definitely applying more pressure. You could always take a peek under your stencil and then put it back if you want to keep adding more colors. Blueberry bushel is a nice, deep, vibrant blue too. I've made some hydrangeas with that. But let's go back over this. My background's really light. So here you can go back to the first layer, which is the overall hydrangea, the entire shape, and we can add more color. So if you also feel like maybe they're not quite blended out nicely, you can go over it and soften it and get a better blend with this whole background shape here. So that's looking good. Let's switch to our garden green. There's 2 masks for the leaves, so you've got this outline layer. Hang tight, I'll show you that card Jama created in her class. I created them along with the class, and so I have one to share with you. And I'm letting you know because our Creative Design Team birthday card event is open for replay. So we had our event during the last 2 weeks of February, but those card designs are timeless and it is a birthday card event, but you can definitely switch up the sentiments and make them any occasion you'd like. So you can see how that one turned out there. Let's go ahead and do one of these flowers. Since I already have my green ink out, I'm going to start with the leaves and then we'll move to the petals. I will leave all the information for our Creative Design Team birthday event replay in the description box below, but there are 14 classes, so 14 days, and each class has a printable handout guide where you have a sketch design, and then the class instructor shows you how to interpret that sketch in multiple ways. So you'll have one sketch design, but then you'll have a masculine card or a floral card or, a fun fold card, all from the same sketch. And I think it's a great way to get more from your products. And we show you how to use what you have to recreate those cards. So it's a lot of fun. We all need birthday cards, right? You can even use those designs to get a jump start on your Christmas cards. I am on mask number 2, the second layer for this floral image here. And again, we're using Melon Mambo to coordinate with our layout. And it's kind of fun in that picture of Chelsea and I with the ocean in the background. There's lots of different colors in the sky. You kind of have these blue tones and there's some almost pinks and golden color. Oh, hi, Dave. Dave's coming through here. Let me move the ink pad. Say hello to Dave. Give him some love, then we'll just relocate him. Sometimes he likes to sit on my chair right behind me. So this is our third layer, just a few little details here. And we'll add just a bit more ink. And I'll do the rest of these off camera. I won't make you watch me inking up every single one of these. Let's go ahead and get these die cut out. Now, on my last video of the unboxing, someone asked if these coordinate with the pattern paper, and these dies do not. Since I had everything out, I went ahead and made a whole bunch of flowers and die cut some leaves. So you can see these, there's 2 different types of leaves that come with that, the coordinating dies. So there's that one there, and then this one there, and you can see the little detail lines that it cuts into those, which is very pretty. And now we have a whole bunch of flowers to embellish with. So I want to show you, these are both Melon Mambo, the exact same inks. I just used a heavier hand and put more layers on with this one. So you can really vary the look depending if you want something more soft or a little more bold, even again, just using one ink pad. I wanted to show you Jema's beautiful card. So she showed several different colorways, and then this is all stamping. It's a fun fold card. You'd write your message on the inside, and I just love it. Plus she showed how to recreate this design using other products, but the hydrangeas were my favorite. So pretty. I thought I'd share one of my cards with you. Now this is also a fun fold. Not all of the cards are fun folds. I just happened to grab 2 fun folds. So I have used the arch dies just like Jema did here on hers. I've got 3 of them stacked in there to open up like this. And then I created a masculine card with the hexagons using this design, and also some examples using the circle dies in different products. So it's just really fun to see a sketch design come to life in several different ways. We'll just set all of this embellishment goodness off to the side and bring the photos back in. And typically when I embellish a layout, I kind of have my go-to style, and I tend to put them on the outside. So my thought was to kind of frame in this photo, overlapping the photo, but you can see it's kind of blending into that paper. In a way, it's kind of neat because it's like the paper is, part of the design and it's coming into the photos there. But what if we kind of reverse these? I tend to put my busier pattern papers towards the outside edges. This is the offcut of that one. But what if we reversed it and put it in the middle? And then that way our embellishments still on the outside kind of bring that color to the outer edges. Because if we had it like this, and then our embellishments are kind of disappearing into the background there, we don't have any of that color in the middle per se. So let's try that out, and then we could just have this kind of coming across, and then I'll bring more of this paper in. How did I have those? I don't remember, maybe something like that. And then we could put an embellishment cluster on the far side over here. And I might create a pocket for my journaling behind this photo here. I like it. Let me scoot these off to the side. I have another piece of that kind of wicker basket looking pattern paper, and then we can bring our photos back in on top of it here. As I bring my embellishments back in, you can see they are like a flower on a stem, like a cut flower. I have an idea to kind of finish those off and make them look a bit more polished, so stay tuned for that. And then I'm wondering if we move this basket piece over to show more of that floral pattern in the center. I do like that better. And then I've got a piece of black cardstock because I'm wondering if the black and white stripes is maybe just a bit too busy. Like we get too many patterns happening all in one location. So with a little bit of the bold solid black, I think I like that. I'm going to cut this down so that we have paper on each side. We can commit to this one. I think I've decided on the solid versus the black and white, and I do like that little bit of exposed floral paper in the center there. And of course, whatever I do to one side, I like to complement on the other side. It doesn't have to be matchy-matchy or symmetrical, but I want to bring in some black cardstock on the right. So I'm kind of scooting these over, and it doesn't have to be as wide. Maybe we can get away with just about an inch. Let's see how that works. I think that's enough of a statement. Let me kind of line these up in a column here. I am considering this Misty Moonlight, kind of putting a strip of it across the bottom to anchor my embellishment clusters. So these are only 1.5 inches wide by 12. So let's run these all the way across. I'm going to slide it behind my photo here, and I'm thinking maybe this can kind of, the embellishments can kind of originate from it, so we could tuck it behind. You know what? I don't like that. I don't like it. Plan B, but I do like the Misty Moonlight strip going across. So I'm going to keep that. And then I've got one more idea. We could cut some of the little flowers, but let's just keep bringing in our little cluster. This one maybe could go this way, kind of framing in that photo there on the left. I grabbed another floral stamp set. This one's called Happy Hibiscus. It's great for tropical layouts, so I stamped out some of the larger hibiscus in Melon Mambo, and that's going to be my piece on top. That's perfect. It hides the stems, it finishes everything off, and now we can just tuck in a few of these little sprigs. Maybe we can put this guy, let's put him right there. I still need to work on my title, and I am wondering if we want to, let's add a few more sprigs, and then I'm kind of looking at this left-hand page thinking maybe I want some black to show too. I'm going to trim this piece a little bit narrower. So I went ahead and did that off camera, and now we can work on the title. So I'm thinking sunset as part of my title. This is the alphabet a la mode dies, and I'm just lining them up, make sure this is going to work. And I do think that's going to work. Perfect. I pulled these stamp sets from my stash. This is called Food and Memories, and there's this Meals and Memories. So I was thinking Sunset, Meals and Memories. And then I grabbed Summer Barbecue Occasions because of this sentiment, food, friends, and fun. I think that's going to be perfect. So I will stamp those out. I've mentioned this before, but I store my stamps by category. So I've got a bin called Food, Drinks, and Treats. So whenever I'm dealing with a layout pertaining to maybe going out for drinks or food, I can easily thumb through those and find stamps like this, because I would never have thought to look at this stamp to find that. So by narrowing it down to this Food, Drinks, and Treats category, I can just quickly flip through there and find things that will work on my layout. I have this sparkly goodness from Stampin' Up, so pretty, for my title. So I went ahead and die cut that out, and then, ta-da, I stamped Meals and Memories, and then Food, Friends, and Fun. So this needs a home. Maybe let's just leave it there for now. And this one I want with the title because it's going to be Sunset, Meals, and Memories, which is perfect. That's exactly what it was. And then what if we put this one kind of down here as part of our floral cluster? Actually, I kind of like that. I want to save that upper spot in the upper right for my journaling tags. So we'll move that down. And then let me go ahead and get these adhered down. I'll just do a few with you on camera. So I've got my Bearly Art glue. You can see I have a T-square ruler lining up the bottom of my letters. And then I just use dots of glue. And then we work our way across the letters here, making sure I'm not misspelling anything. That does happen occasionally. And it's a real bummer when you glue it down. Let me bring this back into frame. And now I have this piece. This is like what I trimmed off from behind there. I'm wondering if we could carry this all the way through. So let me loosen this up because I already adhered it down. And then we can just slide this up. I still want some of the black showing, but maybe just a little bit of this peeking out. I think that carries that color over in that paper nicely. I printed out my journaling on cardstock and I'm going to cut that out with a tag. So we'll slide that here. I'm going to create a pocket and then I've got a green tag for layering. I like that, but I have an idea. So I want to add a little treatment to this tag and do some tone-on-tone stamping. So this is the textured note stamp. There's great little leaf images in here. And I want it to kind of look like this paper. This was my inspiration, but I don't want to cut into that 12 by 12 paper just for this tiny little tag. So we're going to make our own pattern paper. And only the top portion of this tag is going to show, but I'm being mindful to rotate my stamp and just create kind of a random pattern here. We'll do a little bit on the top, and I think some of this over here, and maybe a bit over here, one more here. That will lighten as it dries just a bit, so we can get this out of the way, and we'll tuck this little guy in here. Off camera, I added a few extra details. I've got these dots from the Friends of the Ocean. I've kind of tucked the pink ones around my floral clusters here. And then I have Love This Moment stamp. I stamped the story on the top of my tag here so that you can see that portion and you know that the story's underneath there. And then from the Happy Hibiscus, I die cut out these tiny little flowers to finish off and add a little pop of pink up at the top there. I filmed my videos with my iPhone and my son had called. So we were having a good conversation. He was telling me a little bit about his day and I was on autopilot and just started crafting again. And pretty soon I had finished my layout while talking to him and thought, oh no, I didn't film that because you can't film and talk at the same time. But that's okay. I think it's easy to see those little additions there. And everything I used to create this layout can be found in the description box of the video. If you're looking for more inspiration, you definitely want to check out this one right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon here on YouTube.